Hello, friends. This is Carolyn Cooper from Simply Align, and we are doing a series of Meet the Simply Align Certified Practitioner. I know it's a mouthful, but it's been so much fun to interview all these certified practitioners that do the Simply Align method, and they're helping a lot of people across the world. So today we have Marnie Kuhns here, and I'm going to turn the time to her. Marnie, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing Simply Align, and what else do you have going on in your life?
Started back in August of 2011, I believe. So what's 13 years almost here? Or so anyway, yeah, what I do with Simply Align is we my husband and I work with people who have something that they feel like they're being led to do, something, an inspired idea. So aligning with the divine and aligning with who you were created to be is like the first step of it. And then from there, you can discover, create, and deliver what you came here to share or do or whatever in the world. And without the alignment, you don't have the foundation. So the Simply Aligned comes in heavily at that point to get people kind of just aligned, centered with what I call your core sacred self, that part of you that's eternal, that doesn't go away, and align it up with, in my work, we align it with the divine. So, but that's kind of what we're doing.
I love it. Such good work. Such good work. What is, I mean, that must be very rewarding, all of it. And can I just tell our people listening, like Marnie is a businesswoman. She's been online probably longer than anybody I know. She's techie. She's an author and a publisher of 33 books. I mean, she's really amazing, has a lot of different coaching type of programs and a Simply Align. Oh, and you're a musician too. You do all that stuff. Like you didn't mention that, so I'm just going to toot your horn a little
Okay.
bit because you're so humble. But okay, back to my next question is what is the most, with all of that background that you have, what is the most rewarding aspect of doing Simply Align, that like doing the work? What do you love the most about it?
I think what I love the most is having been a business consultant for a lot of years and working with somebody when they're trying to accomplish something and move forward. I would sense that they weren't going to do it. Okay, this was pre-learning Simply Aligned. Like I could just tell they've got some kind of block, and this is just not going to happen. And so, with having the Simply Align in my belt, now we can go and go. Okay, you're not really connected up with this idea. What's going on, and help them uh, actually connect up and get this junk out of the way so they can accomplish the thing that we're working on together. And that's the fun part when you really get down to the root and realize, oh, this is goes back to say something that happened in your childhood and you're repeating this pattern. Let's just work through that and clear that. So that's fun for me.
Wow. I love that. And I love that you had that intuition before, you just didn't have the tools. There's so many people like that come to the class. It's like they know they have the intuition, they're sensing things, but they don't quite know how to handle the situation or what to do with it. Man, so people, I don't know if you still do any business consulting also with all your other projects, but people get a bonus. They're not just learning the business consulting, they're also getting let's clear your energy that's blocking you from even doing this in the first place. So
Yeah.
that's nice. And I love your program about, align with the divine. Okay. Do you have like, is there a specific story you can like pull out of all the many stories that you probably have, like about a client that shows uh, how you were able to use your skills in this situation?
Yeah. There was a gentleman I was working with one time, very talented, and most of the time he was upbeat about things, but then occasionally he would go to like something would trigger him and go kind of this dark side on himself where he would start to be like, I'm worthless, I'm no good, somebody's going to reject me. He was just waiting for it to be rejected and feeling like he wasn't a good person, and so he couldn't do anything, and he couldn't see his way forward when he would go into these kind of funk type things. And so, um, well, we just kind of worked on some things that were coming up, patterns that kept repeating for him, and cleared that out of the way. And he was able to see his way forward from there and be like, okay, I can keep going. I see the big picture now. But as long as he was waiting to be rejected, he would create rejection over and
Oh,
over and over. So,
yeah. Ooh, I love that story. What is so I'm just thinking of that guy in particular. I wonder if he even recognized that. Like a lot of people have patterns that keep repeating, like it's stuck in your energy somewhere. And so we release the energy of that. And so your natural light shines or takes up that space instead of uh the false beliefs that were there before. So I think people don't understand that a lot of times, or it's kind of intangible, so it's hard to understand. But if you could, because you're so good with words, if you could like put it into words, what is something that you wish more people understood about energy healing?
that it can be so simple, and that it doesn't have to be a lot of woo-woo stuff, that it actually makes sense, that it's logical, that a lot of it is really intention based, really, identifying where's the root of this. And I always say like 90% of the problem is addressed once you acknowledge it and real, shining some light on it. And from there, then you can release that. So I think, I guess that's what I would want them to know is like, it doesn't have to be a lot of hoopla, and it doesn't have to be a lot of digging and trauma going dredged up. It can just be simple. And it's like, oh, here's this pattern. Let's get to the root of that, release that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how it works. I mean, you're always like, is that really going to work? And then it does. It's like,
Yeah, so it's too easy for some people. That's too simple. I can't really do that. Yeah, it does. Just try it. Look for evidence in your life that it's working. It does.
yeah.
So, what advice would you give to somebody if they're thinking about like coming to you for a session or taking the course? Or what advice would you tell someone, whether they have a little bit of knowledge of energy healing or if they're like brand new?
Well, if they were looking at coming to me for a session, I would just say, just relax and tell me what's going on, because a lot of it just comes out as you're talking, and I can pick up on what the energy is as they're talking. If somebody is like, oh, I want to learn how to do Simply Align, I would say, if you've got the desire to do it, you've got the power to do it. When I very first started, I was like, I don't know, can I do this? Am I this intuitive? And you had said something like that. If you're drawn to the work, then
You have a
uh,
place in it.
you have a place in it, So, and I think that's true, and the more you go, you may start off to be like, okay, the answers come to me only with muscle testing, and then it'll start coming to you. You'll see something, maybe, or in your head, or you'll think of a phrase, or you start to expand your ability to receive input from the I would call God or something. You're getting, maybe you're just reading the energy, but whatever you want to call it, your capacity grows. The more you use it, the more ways you start to hear the insights that you need to help someone.
Yeah. Wow. Well said. I loved all of that. So how do you are so balanced and centered yourself, and then you're helping other people get balanced and centered. Like what are your tips and tricks, Marnie? Tell us. What do you do to stay balanced?
I could tell you a lot, but I'm going to tell you the one that is kind of part of our work that we do is get out in nature, because nature has a balancing, like the Heart Math Institute people have actually found that it regulates the heart. The earth is like the heartbeat of the earth. We want to sync up with it. So when you're out in nature, it's going to at least align you with the earth itself, and you'll have a coherence to your heart. But also I just think God is constantly broadcasting messages through nature. And if you want to, the biggest message is, I love you, come to me, I can heal you. And the more you walk through nature, the more it just has that healing, aligning effect,
Mm,
especially if you slow down and observe it and
yeah.
not just, oh, I'm going to run to the car really fast. No, there was a bird, you know. So,
That's so good. And can I just put a plug in for your Spirit Tree Farms? Did I say that correctly? Is
yeah,
that
it
your,
is. Yeah.
yeah. So you guys have land and acreage, and you know all about listening to the energy of the earth and getting inspired from God, from nature. Yeah, I love all of that. Anything you want to say on that? You don't have to. I put you on the spot a little bit on that one, but
No, yeah, we just enjoy exploring. I like to look for symbolism in nature and parables in nature and things I can learn from it. So that's a lot of where I take it. Dave does a lot of planting. Um, we grow pawpaws and pears and persimmons.
nice.
And there's another P. I forget what the other one is anyway. But yeah, so we do some native wildflowers and plants and things, but then we also create. It's more about the experience of nature observation and hearing God's messages broadcast through all of nature. So we blog on Spirit Tree Farms, just the insights we get from that to hopefully inspire people to get out and get their own insights
Yeah.
from nature. And
Well, it works. I'm inspired just listening to you. I'm like, I want to go on a nature walk this afternoon. I think I will. Thank you. Okay, Marnie, how can people find you? How can they get in touch with you if they want to?
okay. They can go to marniekuhns.com for my books and consulting and stuff like that, or spirittreefarms.com if you're interested more in the nature aspects.
Nice. Okay. And there is a link below to our Simply Align practitioner directory. So if you want to, she's also on our certified directory if you want to find her there. So thank you, Marnie. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I've really
You too.
enjoyed. I loved you always are so well worded. I always love everything you have to say. A wise woman indeed.
Thank you.
Indeed, I think I've been watching too many old movies or something, but anyway, thank you so much, and thank you for watching, and we'll be back with another in our series of certified spotlights. So thanks, Marnie.
Thank you, Carolyn.